Hey everyone, for this week's Tech Tuesday video, I'm going to show you how to install a new upper board for your Mini GS. So this is the eye board, the one that, for example, if your eye sensors go bad or if your micro switch when you're pulling a trigger goes bad, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to replace that. So if you still have your parts kit from your Mini GS, it comes with the Allen keys that you need. But if you do not have those original Allen keys, and you will need both of them, you're going to need a 3/32 and 5/64 Allen key for this replacement. And of course, a brand new Mini GS eye board. Make sure you don't get the Axe eye board. So this is what it's going to look like. So two sensors, the micro switch, and look at the shape of it, because a Axe Pro will be a little bit different. So it's got two notches out of there, and the Axe board will look different. So make sure you don't have that. Okay, so this is the one you're looking for here. Lay that off to the side. Typically what I would recommend is if you have a permanent marker, I would put a little dot on this one or the letter N so you know which one is new and which one is old. So I know both of these are brand new and they're both working, so it doesn't matter to me as far as switching them out. Brand new gun and a brand new out of the package. So first thing first, make sure you take your barrel off, make sure there's no paint inside of the paintball gun, and make sure there's no air, because we'll be taking this apart. And go ahead and take your Allen keys here. And it'll be kind of a long video, but we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so make sure your gauge is at 0 here, so that way you're no air and you're set. And look in the breech, no paintballs. All right, so first things first, we'll go ahead and remove the frame of the gun. So you're gonna need the larger of your two Allen keys. So your 3/32 Allen key, I believe, for the back here. The ones I'm using do have a little ball head on them, so that makes it real easy to be able to remove this. What I'm doing also is I have my finger here on the back of the bolt, just in case the bolt wants to shoot out a little bit. I've got that. So make note, this screw is going to be longer than our front grip screw we're about to take out. If you put them in backwards, they will screw in, but they will damage your board. They will damage the gun. So you want to make sure you put the longer of these two. I'll show you that real quick. So this one goes to the back of the gun, this one goes to the front of the gun. So I'm going to keep those separate and lay those up there. These are the ones that they have a round head on them. Okay, good to go. So a lot of people think the frame's going to come off now, and it will move a little bit, but there's still a set screw in the front, so you have to take this front grip off. This is one change I wish Empire would change. I don't understand it. If there's a reason behind it, okay, cool, but I don't really get it. I've seen some people that just take a hole, or like drill a hole in the rubber once they take it off. That way they can get to this Allen key or that screw a little easier. So these are small, I think they're called button head, round headed screws. So go ahead and lay those off there and slide the rubber grip off and lay it off to the side. So this is the screw I was talking about. It's gonna be right here in the front. You're gonna use the larger Allen key, the same one you use for your grip frame screws, and go ahead and loosen that up and take that off. And I like to keep all my screws bunched up together, like per section. So I know that was my frame, this is my front grip, and also the other one there. Okay, so be careful here, everything will come apart. So go ahead and pull it up there. So the part that we're replacing is gonna be this micro switch that you see right here, and also this plug. So for some reason, if this plug got damaged, debris got in there, or anything like that, that's the part we're gonna replace. So you can go ahead and set your frame off to the side. You don't need this currently. So what I was saying earlier is if you accidentally put the wrong screw, this long one goes in the back here, and it helps hold this the bolt from coming out. But if you accidentally put it here in the front, here, it will thread in, and it'll go straight into the board. So this board sits right here. So it will literally just go straight to that board. So you do not want to do that. So make sure long screw goes into the back, long screw in the back, short screw in the front. If you ever lose these screws and you pull other ones out of your kit, make sure they're the same size as the original one. Okay, so what's next is we're going to take the tube here, the transfer tube, we're going to unscrew it. It's got a little grip right here, so grab your fingers and unscrew that there. There is a small O-ring on here. Try not to wipe off the grease. If you do, you can put more grease back on it. It comes in your kit, in your little kit right there. So go ahead and lay that there. Go ahead and pull your solenoid wires out there, and go ahead and unscrew the solenoid. Again, lay that off right there. Good to go. Okay, so you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws that are gonna use the 3/32 Allen key to remove them. So what I like to do is knock them all loose with the short side. Because if you try doing it with a round head, sometimes I've seen the ball head of the Allen key break off. So I'll go ahead and loosen these up. Good to go. Once you get them loose, then you can use the round side a little bit faster, in my opinion, to do that. So some symptoms, or some, what's the word I'm looking for, issues that you're going to have if you know you need to replace the upper board, the micro switch. Again, if your eyes have been in there for a real long time, they will have a lot of corrosion on them on this part here. So you'll see literally the wires and everything will be corroded, or they can be completely broken. I've seen that before too. The micro switch, when you're pulling the trigger, you can hear it clicking, and you know everything else is working right, but the gun is not recognizing that you're actually pulling the trigger. That micro switch can go bad. Okay, so we have replaced all of those, or unscrewed, sorry, all of those screws. So I'm going to go ahead and put them down here. They should all come out. I do like these exalt mats because they groove, so if I drop something, it's going to go in here, and I have little compartments. So I'm going to turn this upside down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect, good to go. Okay, and so sometimes this is your, I forgot what it's called, your plate, your body plate. Sometimes it can be kind of difficult to get out. So a little trick I like to use, grab your transfer tube here, screw it in a couple threads, and then just wiggle it down. And it comes off just like that. And I like to leave that just right there. Pretty straightforward. So this is important. Right now, you have a big gasket that's in here. It's kind of popped up a little bit. You have a small little, I forgot what it's called, a little plastic clear piece. And if it falls out of this hole, you can actually see it, that it's not in there anymore. If it falls out, the gun will not shoot correctly, and basically it will mess it up. So make sure when you take all this plate off, should have led with that, make sure you keep the gun upside down the whole time and don't touch that piece there. You don't need to touch any of this stuff here. You just need to go ahead and grab the micro switch to the side of it, and I'm going to wiggle it side to side. This piece will come straight up, just like that, and replace the board. So if you have a lot of paint and gunk in the side of your eyes, you can grab a small Q-tip. Works real well if you cut the end of the Q-tip off. So that way it's just the rod of it. You can actually get into here. If you have a small pick, you have anything like that, you have some air you can kind of blow in there. That will clean out the whole eye socket that goes all the way through the gun. And you can actually see right here through the top, it goes all the way through. So I grab a smaller Allen key. So this piece here goes all the way through into the breech of the gun out the top. So physically it comes through right here. So that's a really good way of cleaning it out. You don't want to don't force anything, but it's a real good way to clean the eye holes out and make sure there's no debris in there for when you put the new one back in. Okay, so good to go. So wipe all that down real well. You can put a little bit of grease, just a very, very light bit of grease from your kit on this O-ring here, but it's not really needed a lot. You just want very, very little. Okay, so go ahead and grab your new board. You want the micro switch facing the back of the gun. So this is what we're looking at right here. Again, be careful turning it sideways. That little piece can fall out. You do have an extra one in your kit, I believe, if it does fall out. Yeah, it's in the, I'm going to grab it. It is in this plastic bag. It is so tiny, I'm not even sure you can see that. Let's see if you can see it there. Good to go. I forgot what it's called. It's like a valve. It basically minimizes the hole, makes it smaller. A check valve, that's right. Okay, so to put this board back into place, sometimes it can be kind of a pain, but if you haven't touched this board and the eyes are vertical, it should slide right in. So there's 2 slots on the side here, and these eyes are going to go right in there. So micro switch to the back, plug to the front, and line it up. And you shouldn't have to force. I'm just going to set it on here and kind of wiggle it back and forth, slide it into the gap. And so right now it's not wanting to go because the eyes are expanded a little too much. So the eyes here are out like that. So I'm going to press them in just a little bit more, just a little. See if I can get it sit in here. There we go. So once it's in, press it down, and it should be completely flush on all sides once you have it in correctly. Good to go. So what I like to do then is take this, set it in. You can't put this together backwards. It just doesn't go. Nothing lines up. So you can't really put that together backwards. But you want to make sure that the small slot here is faced forward because the plug's going to go through it, and that's going to go there. what I'm going to do there is, now that I've got it, I'm just going to hold it in place. I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of these screws and put them in. I like to do the center of the body. That kind of holds everything in firmly in place. Tighten these up snug. Not all the way yet though. Just enough to kind of hold everything in. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the screws in. If you guys have any questions or feedback on the video, if I could have gone slower or too redundant, anything like that, go ahead and comment below. Feel free to give me some feedback on these. I enjoy doing the tech videos, but if I'm not doing them as good as I could, I'd like to know that. So if you have other questions about why you're putting this in or why you're having consistent issues with your Mini, let me know. So okay, so this screw right here doesn't really want to go in. So what I'm going to do, instead of trying to cross thread it and force it in, I'm going to actually unscrew it so it kind of resets itself to try to grab that thread. So I'm going to do like one full turn, a little bit more, and then I'm going to try to screw it in again. And it's binding up just a little bit, but it's good to go. So you want to be careful. Don't force it in there. If you have to put any real strength on it, something's not right. So make sure you have those lined up correctly. What I'm doing now is I'm going back over all of them and tightening them up. Should be good to go. Again, any questions at all, go ahead and let me know in the comments. The Mini is one of the most popular paintball guns out there, so of course the most guns sold, the most repairs you have going on for them too. So even though there's not very many of them, it is pretty easy and pretty inexpensive. I believe that board is about $20, that board, replacement board there, so not real expensive. Okay, so now that we have all the screws, this is where I like put the solenoid back in first. If you do it the other way, the wire is kind of a pain in the butt to put back in. So I'm going to put the solenoid, it goes in the front slot. And you kind of have to press it down at the same time while you're spinning it because there's an O-ring on there. So press it down until it tightens up. And then you like the wire to go straight down the front of the solenoid. I'll tell you why here in a second. So you want it to stay just like that against the front. Because when you put it back in, if it's sticking out the sides at all, it'll mess up the frame and the frame can actually pinch the wires. You don't want it too bunched up because then it can actually hit the micro switch, which affects the trigger. So make sure this is pushed all the way down. Go ahead and take your transfer tube and tighten that up with your fingers. Again, no tools required. You're good to go on there. And then you're pretty well straight good to go. Make sure those are all tight. You're set. Go ahead and grab your frame here. I'd like to, again, make sure these are labeled. So if you know which one's old, which one's new, go ahead and slide the back of, I like to put the tube in first and then slowly slide it in. You have to be careful of the prongs here on the front. They need to line up with the holes in the front here. So it kind of plugs into place, but if you do it slowly and line it up, it'll only go together one way. I'm just barely wiggling it back and forth and it should be good to go. You can actually keep an eye on the front board there from watching it from the angle. And once it's good, it clicks into place and you're all set. So go ahead and put your rear screw in, tighten that up a little bit. Put your front screw in, be very careful again, make sure you're putting the right ones in the right spot. Long one in the back, short one in the front. Good to go. If you guys have any questions about this at all, or any confusion at all, please comment below, let me know, or you can reach out to our guys at the store. We all work on paintball guns all the time, so very familiar with the Mini, and any of the upgrades or any of the issues that you might have. Give us a call or stop by, or comment below, like I was saying, or use our live chat even on our website. We do have a new website, prohpb.com, so if you want to check out any paintball products, they are available on the website, prohpb.com. If you guys have any questions about the video, comment below. And if you found the video helpful, please go ahead and like the video. That helps our video show up to other players like yourself, which might be looking for some help. So, and if you like videos, we offer 2 videos a week. So that way you can go ahead and, if you want, subscribe to our YouTube channel, help us grow. Maybe share us on social media if you like what you see, or if you found it helpful at all. We appreciate that. Other than that, I think that is pretty much everything. Of course, before you go to the paintball field, go ahead and air up the gun, shoot it at the house if you can. Make sure the eyes are working correctly before you go out. So, good to go. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for your support, and thank you for watching. See you guys next time.